Arguably the most trouble-plagued shoot in history, The Godfathers Part 2 was hampered with cast problems, controversial scenes, script rewrites, drug problems, lawsuits, and Daniel D. Krause's declining mental state. Godfathers 2 starred Joe Adam, Matt Nelson, and Krause himself, and spanned for some 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Really, I hate to talk about it. I did it as a favor of a friend who knew Dan Krause, and I really shouldn't have got into it, but I just did. You see, this could really something that could railroad my career. I could be a stage actor or a big-time broadcaster, and somebody, could sell that piece of junk to hard copy, and next thing you know, my whole career is wrecked. It sits down the drain.
By the time we hit Godfathers 2, Krause was completely gone. He was a wreck. I don't know what it was that got to him. It was all the drugs, the women, the pressure, the gravy. I don't know what it was. He would often come in staggering in, blasted out of his mind, yelling at all of us on the set, the whole production crew and all, and he'd just go ballistic on us and pour hot beverages in our laps and things like this. Just abusive. He was abusive. He would call us racial slurs, completely unprovoked. We still hung around because this was where the money was. Without Danman Productions, most of us would have been on the street anyways. We would have been eating crickets and doing whatnot.
Oh, I just can't describe it. The mind on this guy, he could go psycho in 3 seconds flat, but he seems to be on the borderline every single one, wanting a different shot, wanting a specific shot for a specific word or sentence. Can I be given a straight answer?
According to Joe, things were different for Dan. He was looking for something that he couldn't find and trying to master something that he couldn't master. And that drove Dan nuts, I think.
He would stop filming just to scream out, "Buddies, buddies!" And said, "Dan, man, take your Prozac, man." And then everything went cool and we started filming again, so.
Anybody can have pet rabbits run through their house. That's fine, He named his dog Bunny, his children Bunny. That's fine. He likes girls that dress up in bunny outfits, but that's fine if that's what he's into. He has a God-given right, okay? And what you people are doing to him isn't right. It isn't fair. If he wants to streak, it's perfectly up to him, okay?
I like rabbits. Rabbits are great animals. They're great survivors. Not like the rest of those insipid little monkeys.
That is one man who does not deserve a camera. I've known him without the camera. There's just something about it. Perhaps it's like the little electromagnetic things that's going out with it, and he's got it just so close to his brain. But yes, shaky at best, dodgy. He's a wanker.
I don't know, he went through stages, vomiting, regression. There was his wild, impulsive phase, his drunken, stumbling phase, his wacky, nutty, devil-may-care attitude phase. And of course, who could forget his spinning and yelling through the backyards of his neighbors phase. That was a big one.
One of the cast members allegedly had a torrid love affair with Krause during the 5-month shoot.
Well, he was under a lot of stress at the time, and it was useful and fun, actually. I'm not sure how much a part of what happened I was, but I'm not sure that I care either.
I believe you were told not to ask me about that, I think.
I got the part originally by auditioning, sort of. Well, I went in for an audition, but I never auditioned. It was spring, it was warm. He didn't have me read, he just checked out my assets, so to speak. So he took me on immediately, of course. It was great in the makeup room. and the light booth, the soundboard. Well, you get the picture. So I became a member of the cast. I only had a bit part originally, but I stayed on for the duration of the film. So, you know, during lunch we could retire to the makeup room. It seemed to be his favorite. I don't really want to think about why. My big scene in the movie was the death scene where I was shot by a sniper and collapsed in the snow. It was all very tragic. Tony was cradling me in his arms as I died, which actually, incidentally, just incensed Dan with jealousy and rage. You don't see it on film, but the instant the camera stopped rolling, he leapt over a small privet hedge and started just pounding poor Tony into a bloody pulp. I fell into a snowbank, so I missed most of it. I couldn't decide if it was part of the script or not, but I kind of enjoyed watching.
Godfathers 2 had several scenes that caused a national uproar, most stemming from Krause's semi-psychotic insistence on realism. One was the Craig Brown, Joe Adam Russian roulette scene.
People don't know this, but there was an actual bull in that gun, and it just by chance happened to be the last one in the chamber. And of course, in the movie, I just turn around and shoot Craig, but we actually did that, and Craig got wounded in the shoulder. It made Dan get people to have the right sense of what this was all about.
Terrific acting on the part of Joe Adam. One thing I have to credit Krause with is that, selecting Joe Adam in virtually all of his films is right there. He should get an Oscar or something for that. Joe Adam, great actor. I just, once again, on the narcotics.
Excuse me, is your name Ricky?
The famous chase scene through the mall. Well, once again, Dan's idea. I didn't want to have anything to do with it. We had campus security and mall security breathing down our necks. It was a big mess. A little girl got injured in the escalator scene. Krause just didn't care. He just shoved her aside.
I think shoved is a little bit harsh. I hardly touched her. I mean, no, my sound man, he plowed right through her, right into the dirt.